Hello and welcome back. For this Pilates flow class, all you're going to need is your Pilates ball, a medium band, your head cushion or folded hand towel, and for side lying work, if you use it to support your head, either a block or a folded bath towel, something big, thick, so that you've got enough padding to keep your neck in line with your spine. When you're ready, we're going to start lying down. And then when you're nice and comfortable in your lying down position, grab your ball and pop it between your knees. And turn your palms up towards the ceiling and have your knuckles face down. Heels under knees and gentle pressure on your ball. And I just want you to take a moment to relax into your mat. Let your shoulders sink down. Let your head feel heavy. And we're going to come to our breathing. Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. And out through the mouth. And in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Making sure that as you breathe in, you breathe deep down into the base of the rib cage. And as you exhale, empty your lungs. And see if you can feel those abdominals just gently tightening in. On your next breath, you're going to take a little bit of attention to the pelvic floor. So you're going to take a deep inhale. And then as you breathe out, just think about bringing tailbone to pubic bone. Feel that gentle squeeze from the back to the front and up without engaging your glutes. Hold for an inhale. And exhale, relax. One more time. Inhale, hold. And exhale, relax. Good. And now from here, keeping your collarbone wide, so notice that the palms turned up, this naturally opens our collarbone. Just turn the palms down without losing that width across the front of the chest. And we're just going to do a tiny recap on neutral spine to begin with. So I want you to flatten your back into the mat and feel that all your ribs are connected to the mat. Then I want you to tilt your pelvis away from you and keep going, and notice that as your tailbone drops down, your lower back and your ribs lift off the floor, particularly your lower ribs. And that's too much. You can probably feel the sort of abdominals have actually relaxed a little bit in this position. So come back to that full tuck, flattening the back into the mat. And then this time, tilt away and stop just before you feel like your bottom ribs are going to lift. And it really is a very thin slither of space underneath that lower back. And then we're going to keep going with those rocks each time, coming back into that neutral. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, curl the pelvis, sink the lower back into the mat. And inhale, tilt back into that neutral, so that point before your ribs lift. And exhale, tuck. And inhale, tilt. 3 more, exhale, tuck. Inhale, tilt. 2 more, and tuck. And tilt. And last one, tuck. And tilt back into neutral, maintaining that neutral now. We're going to do 10 squeezes on our ball. Short, sharp breaths as we exhale, squeeze, inhale, release. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, squeeze, and hold that squeeze for 10, 9, 8, keep breathing, 5, 4, 3, 2, release a tiny bit, but I want you to keep some pressure on that ball. And if you've got a little head pad under your head, just pull that out for a moment and bring the arms back down by your sides. Into our spine curls, take another deep breath in. As you breathe out, curl the pelvis, and then this time we're going to peel the spine off the floor, lift those hips up, keep tucking that pelvis. Inhale, and exhale, slowly rolling down, vertebrae by vertebrae, into neutral. Breathe in. If you need to bring your heels a little closer, if your legs are feeling a little crampy, do bring the heels in a little. Keep that pelvis steady as you lift. Inhale. Exhale, rolling down. 3 more. Good. Last 2. Deep breath in, find that neutral. As you exhale, curling up, have a little bit of a tension on the feet this time, pressing through the toes and the heel, press into the backs of the arms a little. This will help if you feel this in your lower back a little. Exhale, rolling down. Last one. I'm going to do something slightly different on this last one. You're going to curl your spine up. You're going to keep your hips lifted. And we're going to do 10 more squeezes on our ball with our hips up. And we squeeze 10, 9, 8, 7. Feel those glutes. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it. Reach both arms overhead. See if you can do it without flaring your rib cage. And then take a breath in, and as you breathe out, slowly roll down, reaching away through those arms. Find that neutral and see if you can find it without lifting your ribs off the floor. And this is tricky if you're very tight in the shoulders and the chest, especially with the arms overhead. So if you need to bring the arms up a little so that you can get those ribs down to the mat, that's what you need to do. And then bring both arms over. And then take them back overhead. Inhale. Exhale, bring them back. Inhale, overhead. Exhale, bring them back. Inhale, overhead. And again, doing this in neutral whilst keeping those ribs connected to the mat. 3, 2, 1. And then reach your arms up to the sky. Turn your palms to face each other. Open your arms out to the sides. And if you're a little short on space, you can come into the goal post position, or if you want that extra stretch across the front of the chest, come into the goal post position. Otherwise, if it's more comfortable, have your arms out in the T position. And then turn your head to the left and just check that your elbow or your arm is in line with your shoulder socket. And then turn your head to the right and check the same thing, that your elbow or arm is in line with your shoulder socket. And then bring your head back to center and pop your head cushion back under your head. And then when you're ready, we're going to roll your knees to the left. Inhale. And exhale, draw back to center. And inhale to the right. And exhale back to center. And keep it going. Inhale, roll to the left. As you breathe out, pull back through the ribs. Remember, if the goalpost position's uncomfortable, take your arms out into a T position instead. It's quite an extreme stretch, that goalpost position. One more each side, and inhale, twist. And exhale, return. And last one to the right, inhale, twist. And exhale, return. Good. From here, bring your arms down by your sides and let the ball go. Let it drop to the mat and place your right foot on the ball. Now, this next exercise is quite simple, but all your energy really is going to be on keeping that neutral pelvis and keeping those ribs connected to the mat. It's very easy to compensate through this part of your body. And then you're going to stretch the right leg away, so rolling the ball away with your foot, and reach the left arm overhead, so opposite arm and leg. Now, for those that want to make this more challenging, simply lift your left knee into a single knee fold. If you find that too tricky, pop your left foot back down on the floor. And then when you're ready, draw the right leg and left arm back in. And then send them away again. Inhale, stretch away. And exhale, return. And inhale, stretch. And exhale, return. And 3, 2, keeping that neutral. You'll find with the left leg lifted is very challenging. So put it down if you need to. Last one, stretch. And pull the knee in and bring your arm back over by your side and then switch over. So we've now got the left foot on the ball. Stretch your left leg away. Reach your right arm overhead. And either keep your right foot down on the ground, which is easier, or lift the right knee into a single knee fold, which is more challenging. Make sure your ribs are connected to the floor and your pelvis is in neutral. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, return arm and leg back in, arm by your side, leg bent, and inhale, stretch away. Exhale, return. Good, 3 more. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, return. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, return. Last one. Stretch. And return. Good. And now place both feet on your ball. Squeeze the legs together. I'm going to do both legs and both arms at the same time. There will be an added option, which I'll go through in a second. So you're going to reach the legs away, reach both arms overhead, breathing in. And keeping that neutral, as you breathe out, pull the knees back in, bring the arms overhead and down by your sides. Now you can keep doing this. It's quite nice if you know you have problems with neck and shoulder tension, or you've had a slip disc in the neck, or have a slip disc in the neck, or have cervical issues in the neck. I'd keep the head down. If you have osteoporosis, osteopenia, keep the head down. But if you don't have any of those things to think about, then if you wish to, you can lift your head as you bring the knees in and the arms down by your sides, and then lower the head as you stretch away. We're going to do 3 more. Exhale, pull everything in. Inhale, stretch away. 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And finish with the stretch, reaching through the arms, reaching through the legs. Give the feet a little flex, push through those heels. Lovely stretch on the back of the calves, making sure those ribs aren't flaring. And then bring the arms and interlace the hands behind the back of your head. Remove your head cushion if you've put it back in. Open the elbows out as wide as they will go. If this position isn't comfortable, go back to the T position, arms out to the side. And then draw the legs back in and just push the ball out to the side. And come onto your tiptoes as long as it doesn't give you cramps. So heels are lifted, you're on your tiptoes. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, slowly lift the right leg into a single knee fold. And as you exhale, lower. Other side. Lift. And lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And again, watching we're not lifting the ribs off the mat. It's all about getting that connection with that transverse abdominis and the erectus abdominis down the front of the tummy. For those that want a little bit more of a challenge, you're going to exhale, lift one leg, take a breath in to pause. And then as you breathe out, switch both legs over at the same time. Inhale, exhale, switch, and this is leg changes. And 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. And 1. And then from here you can make a choice. Either have both feet down on the ground, which is going to be easier, or lift both legs up into tabletop, which is going to be more challenging. Both versions, the legs are squeezed together, and we're going into our spine twist again. Inhale, drop the knees to the left. Remember, if it's a little too much with the feet lifted, try it with the feet down. Exhale, draw back to center. Inhale, twist to the right. Exhale, pull back to center. And each time you come back to center, make sure you come into that neutral, so ribs are connected to the floor before you go off onto the other side, because your ribs will lift on this one, they're meant to. But each time we want to make sure we're coming back to neutral, because what can sometimes happen is people then start to arch their back as they move through this movement. So we just want to make sure each time we come back to that neutral spine. Feel those abdominals. Last one each side, and see if on this set you can keep those shoulders down on the ground as well. exhale, center. Good. Last one. Inhale, twist. And exhale, center. And then give the knees a hug. Place your feet down on the ground and reach for your band. And if you want to pop your head cushion back under, this is a good time. All right, let's do some work on those legs. So you're going to start with your right leg, and I want you to put the band over your foot and toes. So predominantly over the ball of your foot and toes. Let the band hang from the foot, so you've got these two ends dangling. The leg doesn't need to be straight, it can be slightly bent, especially if you have tight hamstrings. And then I just want you to reach up and grab that band where you can at arm's length, and then pull the elbows down to the floor. As you pull the elbows down, think about widening across the collarbone, but again without lifting the ribs off the floor. And then see how that feels. You should feel very gentle workout on the back of the arms and biceps as you do this. It's not quite like lifting weights, but you should feel there's a little bit of effort in the arms. So find that tension on the band that feels about right. So you can tighten the band by taking the hands a bit closer up towards the foot and then pull down again. And we inhale, release. And exhale, pull, and you should find you get a bit of an extra stretch on the back of the leg as you pull down, and a nice little gentle workout on those arms. And we're going to go 5 more. 4. Straighten the arms, pull the elbows down to the floor. 3, 2, 1, and now hold the elbows down on the floor. If you need to release the band a little in order to do that, that's now a good time to do it. Now if you do have very stretchy, flexible hamstrings and you want to lengthen the left leg along the floor to get a bit more out of that stretch, you can, but only do that if you are not tight in the back of your right leg. If you're tight in the back of your right leg, keep the left one bent. And now point and flex your right ankle. And as you point and flex, I want you to kind of let the toes flex backwards into the band. So you kind of end up with a bit of a stretch on the underside of your toe joints. And then when you flex your ankle, press the heel up towards the ceiling so you get that nice calf stretch. Press into the band to point the foot, but let the toes flex back. And then flex the ankle and dig the heel up to the ceiling. And we're going to go 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then circle your ankle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse. 5, keeping the legs still. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now from here, keep your foot flexed, and you're going to bend the knee halfway in towards you. Maybe tighten the band again a little bit more if that feels comfortable for you. And you're going to simply press up to the ceiling, straightening the leg as much as you can, and then bend halfway again, and press and bend. And this is inspired from a lot of the work I do with people on the reformer, where we are pressing into resistance, and the further away you push, the more resistance you get. And the reason I only get you to bend in halfway is if you bend in all the way, it kind of encourages everything to relax. So by only bending halfway, keeping that activation of the muscles. And we're working quite a lot here. Knee stabilizers, quads, hamstrings, hips, glutes. Good, last one. And then place both ends of the band in your right hand. If you have your left leg bent, just slide the foot away a little bit so the knee isn't in the way. And we're going to go into our leg circles. You're going to start by taking the right leg slightly across your midline and then a nice circle that you can control easily around and back up. Across, down, around and up. And the trick here is to keep your pelvis still. So if you can see your knee in your peripheral vision on the left side, if it's wobbling around a lot, which mine is at the moment, then it means you're not stabilizing through your pelvis. So you just need to think about holding it still. Last one in this direction, and then we're going to reverse. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hold the leg up and then take it out of the band. And before you switch to the other side, just lay both your legs out next to each other. And I love this feeling. It feels like your right leg is about 3 inches longer than your left. And notice how you can feel the right leg kind of rolls out, turns out a lot more than your left. But also in particular, notice how you feel in the back of the pelvis and the lower back. Like right now, I feel like my right hip has kind of sunk down and I feel wonky in a good way. And this will mean that you're much more released in your lower back as well. So we better do the other side, otherwise you're going to be going around town today a little bit wonky and we don't want that. We're here to balance you out. So place the band now over your left foot, let it dangle. And then reach up and grab the band at arm's length. Pull the elbows down to the floor and just see how that tension feels on your arms. You should feel a sort of a gentle workout there and a nice gentle stretch on the back of your leg. And then if you're happy with the tension, reach the arms up and then pull the elbows back down to the floor. And pull them nice and snug into the side of your ribs. Exhale, pull. Inhale, release. And don't worry if your back is flat into the mat, it will be. And that's absolutely fine for this exercise because we've got our leg up in the air. We're not working our abdominals, so we don't need to worry so much about being in neutral. And 6. And 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. And pull down and hold the last one. And then if you're happy still with the tension, start to press into the band. So you point the ankle but let your toes flex back. And then flex the ankle and let the heel dig up to the ceiling. And then press and flex and press and flex. And 4, 3, 2, 1, and circle. 5, just the ankle. 4, 3, feel that nice dull achy feeling where it's working hard. And reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then from here, allow your knee to bend halfway, and this is a good opportunity if you want to tighten your band a little bit, you can. Elbows still on the floor, and then press the sole of the foot towards the ceiling, straighten the leg as much as feels comfortable, and bend the knee in. Stretchy flexy people, if you haven't already and you want to stretch your right leg along the floor, you can. And 8. Inhale, bend halfway. Exhale, press. And 6. And 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. It's amazing how much hard work this is. And 1. And then release the band so that you can now place both ends in your left hand. If your right leg is bent, just take the foot away slightly. And we're going to go into our leg circles. We're going to go slightly across the midline, nice circle down, around and up. Across, down, around and up. And the idea being that you want to stabilize that pelvis. So if you can see your right knee in your peripheral vision, think about keeping it steady by keeping your pelvis steady. And 3, and 2, and 1. We're going to reverse for 6. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Last set. And inhale. And exhale. And bend the leg in. Remove your band and just take a moment to stretch both legs out along the floor. Hopefully they feel the same again. And maybe you notice that the lower back just feels a little bit more comfortable on your mat. Pop your band to the side, we no longer need it. Roll onto your side. We're going to start doing our side leg work. So for those that feel comfortable, you can do your arm under the head and sandwich the thin head cushion between the arm and the head. But if you find this tricky on your shoulder, this is where your rolled up bath towel, cushion or block under the head with the arm reaching out in front. Make sure your shoulder's tucked in underneath so your shoulder girdle is still in line. That's also a really good option. And then we're going to bring the soles of the feet together and make sure they're in line with the back of the pelvis. And really importantly, check that your knees are stacked one on top of the other. And then place your hand on your hip and push your hip away. And this just aligns our pelvis in all directions, because often we sink it into the floor and then we tilt the top hip back in this position. So we want to make sure hips are stacked. And then without rocking backwards, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, open the knee and inhale, close. And exhale, open. And inhale, close. Good. And whilst you're here, just have a little check. Are you flaring those ribs forwards? This often happens when we've got the arm under the head. So just think about tucking those ribs in slightly and you should feel those tummy muscles kind of gently tighten in. 2. And on this last one, I'm going to get you to hold the knee up. And if you can, do little pulses, otherwise rest. And we go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now see if you can lift both feet off the ground, keeping the bottom leg down, bottom knee I should say. See if you can open the top knee further and hold for about 10 seconds, but if you need to rest, rest. You can do some whistling, have a little sing to yourself, breathe. And then when you're ready, inhale, close the knee, and exhale, open again. And inhale, close, and exhale, open. Good. And 6, 5, without rocking backwards, keep those hips forwards. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And rest the legs down. From here, keep the bottom leg bent, stretch the top leg out. I don't mind, you can have pointed foot to flexed foot, whichever feels more comfortable for your legs. Some people like a flex because they get a stretch on the back of the leg. Some people like a point because they get a stretch on the front of the leg. And then keeping the hand on the hip, keeping the waist long, we lift and lower. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. And reaching away through that leg. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up on 1, little baby circles, and you can also do this with a bent knee if that's easier. 1 and reverse. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Lower the leg to hip level. Flex the foot if it isn't already. Push through your heel. Now place the fingertips in front of your rib cage and slowly glide the leg forwards and see how far you can get without rounding your spine. This is your range. Point the foot and then pull the leg as far behind you as you can without rolling your body forwards. And then we keep it going. Flex forwards and back, keeping to that range that felt comfortable without compensating through your body. Forward, back, back. Exhale, exhale, inhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale, inhale, inhale. 2, 1, and rest down. Well done, everyone. Okay, from here we're going to come up onto our side and then flip over onto your other side. So bring with you cushions, blocks, palm turned up, knees together, soles of the feet in line with the back of the pelvis, hand on the hip, knees together. Make sure your elbow points to the ceiling and not behind you, because if it points behind you, it kind of pushes the shoulder up, whereas if it points up to the ceiling, it draws the shoulder down. Ribs tucked in, and then we open and close. Exhale, open, inhale, close. And 6. Exhale, open, inhale, close. And 2. And open on 1, and then little tiny pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then lift the feet, open the knee wider, and hold for 10 seconds. And then inhale, close the knee, and exhale, open. 8. Good. 7. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop the knee down, drop the feet down, and then stretch that top leg away. Point the foot or flex the foot, and then we do our leg lifts. We go up and down, up and down, and all these sort of long leg levers, they can also be done with bent knee, which is a little bit easier sometimes. And 3, 2, hold up for 1, and little tiny circles. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, reverse, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down to hip level, flex the foot, fingertips on the mat in front of you, and we kick forwards and back and back. And exhale, exhale, inhale, inhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest the leg down. Well done, everyone. Oh, I bet we're feeling it in those buttock muscles. So from here, come up to sitting for me. And what you want to do is bring the soles of your feet together. Now, if it is more comfortable for you, this is an option, but I'm also going to show you something else. You can sit on a block and bring the soles of the feet together if that just makes it a bit more comfortable on your hips, and then you can do either arm position I'm about to show you. Otherwise, One arm option, hand option, is to have the hands behind you and simply press off the floor. So use your hands to support you, use your arms to support you, and just focus on sitting up tall, because even this, you should still get quite a nice stretch in the hips or inner thighs. And then if anyone would like to take it a bit further, you can then push yourself forwards to deepen that stretch. The other option is to rest the hands in front of you on the ankles or the legs or the knees. And again, very important, nice straight spine. We want to avoid rounding. Rounding gives us a nice back stretch, but we lose the hip stretch, and that's what we're trying to get at the moment, is that hip stretch. So you need a nice straight back for that, and just lean into that as far as you feel comfortable going. Take a couple of deep breaths. Let's let that stretch settle. Good, and then sitting up nice and tall, take your left hand to your right knee and your right hand behind, and just gently pull yourself round into a little twist, very gently, just enough to get that nice twist through the spine. And then we go the other way, so we go right hand to left knee, left hand behind. Nice little twist. And then bring your knees back in together. And if you have osteoporosis, I just want you to lean on your thighs to get your nice back stretch. So you've got a supported back stretch. If you don't have low bone density, grab the back of the thighs and just pull back off your thighs. And what you'll find is you get a really nice stretch into your lower back and shoulders in a similar way. And then just to finish, hands on the knees, lift yourself up nice and tall, pull the shoulders back and down. Get into that little bit of extension. And let go. And then come onto your side, grab your head cushion or folded hand towel, come down onto your back. Stretch your arms overhead, stretch your legs away along the floor. Reach. And then bring your arms over by your sides, and either let your legs continue to relax as they are, or if you find it more comfortable, bend your knees. And bring your feet flat onto the mat. And from here, take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, allow your body to sink down into your mat. And where you've been working and stretching your muscles, it feels like they are vibrating. That's the sort of best description I can think of how they feel, a sort of, vibrating, zingy. This is where they have been flushed with fluid, feeling nourished, activated. But as you breathe, just let that sensation dissolve out of your body into your mat. Allow your body to completely relax. as you breathe. And then take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, wriggle your fingertips and your toes. Slowly open your eyes. Roll onto your side and come up to sitting. Thank you very much.